All right, everyone. I was privileged enough to see Kanye West go completely insane this morning. It's even more than before, and it appears he might have some sort of relationship problem going on or something like that. I can imagine when you trot your wife out effectively naked on stage, maybe she doesn't necessarily appreciate that. It's not entirely sure what the hell is going on right now. He was posting weird shit, some of which I can repeat, some of which I cannot repeat. Link in the description. Archived, of course. He was saying the original name for Yeezy was going to be Black Dick, basically. He used a different word for that I can't repeat on a YouTube video. Then he was admonishing people not to whip their Jews. And I'm like, what the fuck am I even reading? I wake up and some of these posts were, only a couple of hours old. They've been removed now, but they've been archived, of course. I'm like thinking to myself, all right, well, this is definitely career suicide. Not that he cares. And that's really the fundamental point. If I were to come out and say things like that, I would become impoverished because I'd be canceled, pretty much site-wide, everywhere in the world, and all of a sudden all the videos would be gone and everything else, the books would be taken down, etc., etc. With Kanye, he's worth like $1 billion, so he doesn't necessarily have to care as much. It is kind of an us versus them sort of thing when you really think about it. A person has more free speech if they have fuck you money. It's very, very strange. I have a feeling that he went off his meds, so to speak, and he's having like a bipolar episode or something. It's not that it's not funny. I mean, I'm not really even I'm not offended by what he's saying. It's just just pointing out the obvious. It's fairly obvious. Just saying, when you're coming out and saying not to whip your Jews, I have a feeling it was an attempted reference. That one is less mysterious to me. When he comes out and starts talking about black cocks and stuff like that, that's more like what the fuck mode. Funny as fuck, but it's still what the fuck. With the other one, I think that he was effectively referring to whipping black slaves. But it didn't really sync up. It didn't come off necessarily 100% proper. It didn't come off right, so to speak. I have a feeling that was the reference that he intended to make. Basically like comparing black slaves to Jews or something like that. Which is a semi-apt comparison in some ways, I suppose. But, ooh boy. I wake up in the morning. What's the first thing that I see? I check my Twitter timeline at like 6:30 in the morning. First thing I see is a Kanye post. I'm like, oh shit, what is he posting now? Because he had deleted his account. It's now back up, which proves that he wasn't suspended. He took it down himself, by the way. The first thing that I see is black cock. Not literally, but a reference to it. And I found that hysterical. I thought it was funny as hell, because I'm not easily offended. But I think at this point he's realized he's not really going to get any latitude from the system in general. So he's just sort of mouthing off. That's my feel of it. I think that he's stopped giving a shit more than anything else. But he's gone nuts. You're trotting your wife out, and I don't agree with this, by the way. You're trotting your wife out in a transparent dress, basically showing literally everything. Sort of showing her off like a NIMBY liberal in the 80s would show off their Ethiopian famine orphan adoptee or something like that. I can't get behind that. I don't like that. But the shit posting is funny. It's absolutely hilarious. I mean, when you're making that kind of reference, I appreciated it. Thank you, Kanye, for the morning chuckle. But apparently some people think that maybe he and his wife are on the skids or something like that right now. I've seen scuttlebutt about that from some people that might actually be in the know. It would be believable given the circumstances. Kanye is again, trotting her out like a poodle or something like that, or an Ethiopian famine orphan. Then he's, spending, 12 hours at a time making shit posts, probably passes out at some point when the drugs wear off, and he's doing it again, deactivates his account, reactivates his account, scrubs his store, is selling swastika shirts and stuff like that. It's funny as hell. I appreciate the humor. So don't get me wrong, I'm not offended. It's just, by God, dude, I mean, you gotta calm down a little bit at some point. I don't know what the hell is going on, but I love it in that Twitter shitposting sense. Call me an old troll. I mean, you'd be right, because I've been doing this shit since the middle of the 2000s. Kanye has taken it to an entirely different level. When you have that much money, unless you're posting terroristic threats or something like that, you can get away with it. It doesn't matter. It literally means nothing. Don't whip your Jews. I'll try to keep that in mind, Yeezy. That's about all. Peace out.